Hey there guys, the Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown gameplay is finally out and has been long awaited for a while now, since 2020. I must admit, it's not what I thought it would be, and I have many opinions about this game that I need to say, and I won't really be reading from a script this time. So let's get into it. First of all, let's talk about the graphics. The graphics look okay. It doesn't look like anything new that we haven't seen before. You know, your Forza Horizon, your Crew 2, pretty much standard at this point. However, it is a little bit different. I will admit it has this certain type of look to it that you'd be able to tell the difference between the Crew and Forza. The only difference is that it feels like this game is kind of made trying to represent those two games, specifically the Crew 2 and Forza, because the thing is, this game has the scale of Forza but the size of Crew, if you get what I mean. Like, the way the cars look and design looks pretty much like Forza Horizon 3, if I'm being legitimately honest with you. But yes, let me carry on. The gameplay is standard, your standard driving game. However, it is a little bit different, because I noticed that they really did try their best to differentiate this game between its competitors, because I feel like ever since Forza Horizon came out, other games have been trying to mimic the open world racing genre. And the thing is, this is something that Test Drive Unlimited created. They created this trend of, you know, open world racing games. So with this game, and based on its gameplay and everything, it's almost like a step backwards because of what this game represents. Because this game looks like it's representing the games that were made to mimic Test Drive. So basically, I mean, I'm kind of on the fence about it, but this is in early stages, and after 3 years, I kind of expected a bit more from them, if I'm being legitimately honest. The map is small compared to the other games. That's why I said this game is a little bit a step in backwards, because the Test Drive Unlimited games have always been about map sizes and scales, and especially the level of detail. And this game was done in a showcase, and the gameplay doesn't really showcase much of the map and all the locations that they promised would be in the game. All the locations of the screenshots that they showed you on Steam or wherever you saw the game, they didn't really showcase them in here. They only showcased that hotel, and they only showcased the Streets Club and the Shops Club, which is, you know, the posh people and the street people, you know, illegal street racing people. And I was kind of disappointed at the fact that I didn't get to see all those locations. We didn't get to see more of this Hong Kong new island that is supposed to have all of this detail. Now let's talk about story mode. I don't know if there will be a story mode in this game, because the online showcase was pretty much only just showed like a snippet of online multiplayer, and they actually had some of the designers and executive type people of the development of the game, and then they had two very prominent you know, probably big scale YouTubers on. They had Black Panther and they had Alex7, who Alex7 has been making TDU content for most of his YouTube career. He's kind of, you know, he's not the biggest TDU content creator, but Black Panther has been doing anything related to car games for quite a while. I know Black Panther and I know Alex7, so it's kind of good to see them both in this new TDU game, because they've been supporting it, which is actually pretty good on, you know, Nakon and, you know, on anyone and KT Racing, for them to bring these two guys in. And now let's talk about the online multiplayer. So the gameplay showcase of this game was about online multiplayer pretty much, and it was the executives and then the two YouTubers, content creators, basically driving and racing each other, which wasn't really the best thing they could have done, because I more so wanted to know what exactly the game is, what you can do, the locations. They pretty much breezed over, and so far it looks like the game is pretty okay. I don't want to overestimate it for anyone, but like, I sat and I recorded the gameplay footage for people that is on screen now. If you want to go watch it for yourself, you should be able to go check it on the Steam page. It should be there for you. But, you know, the other thing I want to talk about is the physics. The physics is something that I was not typically happy with, because the physics of the game looks very reminiscent of a Forza or a Forza Horizon or a Crew game. We still at this point, there's no, from what I saw in the video, there's no brake to drift, there's no power sliding. It seems like in this beta or alpha, whatever it is, that this gameplay footage, it's if you drive too fast, you spin out, pretty much. And I can see they tried their best to really make this showcase what the game has to offer. And so far, I would say, if this is the game in its earliest development, I would say so far so good. If I'm being legitimately honest, if this is the game in its very early stages, then so far so good. I kind of expected more, since the game has been being promised and delayed for about 3 years now. So I kind of expected to see more of a complete game and to see more, hearing about how the game engine works, hearing about the physics models, going into real detail about the game, which they didn't. And I'm sorry, but like, the reporter lady was very distracting. Let me just say that. She's both like a Disney Pixar mom. I'm sorry, I just had to say it. She's just extremely distracting. But anyway. Yes, so with this game, with Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, if it's in its early stages, so far so good. If this is supposed to be the game that they've been talking about, and if it's going to be anything like this at the end of its development, I'm not so sure. But for alpha stages, it's not bad. I'm waiting to see what the complete package is. I was hoping to see more of the map, hoping to see more of the gameplay, hoping to see the protagonists and the antagonists, hoping to see what characters were going to be in the video game, because the Crew Motorfest is around the corner, literally. And I saw the trailer of that game, and believe you me, I was blown away. Ubisoft has a good track record of making both first person, third person, and car games generally. Yeah, they make FPS games, they make third person games, and they make car games as well. They pretty much make it all. But Nikon and KT Racing only make, for example, they basically made a rally game, which I expected to see better physics and handling in the game, seeing as that's the bread and butter of the game. But the damage and everything else doesn't really seem to be up to par with my standards, but that's just me. So with that, it seems like they are making progress. But yes, the gameplay showcase really wasn't that good and kind of made me feel conflicted about the game. Now, a part of me likes the game so far, but there is a lot more that needs to be fixed before I can say this game is good and lives up to the TDU standard of the older first two games that paved the way for open world racing games that came after. And with that, this is the Chili Man signing off. I thank everyone for watching. Peace out.